Welcome back to the White Noise Podcast. I don't know why I keep doing that accent. Welcome back to the White Noise Podcast. I'm Ethan, joined by Gumdrock Scudderbutt.
That's a new one.
And as always, Jacob behind the glass.
Yes.
Welcome back, gentlemen.
It's good to be back.
Nice to have you back, Gavin. How was your business trip last week?
It was pretty good. I met everybody that's been on this podcast, despite them being on this podcast.
Nice. That's very good. He also went to... we don't want to give too much away, but Gavin's gonna make these Gavan vs. Wild things a reality. So he's
had to survey my opponents.
Exactly.
Do some interviews.
Safari trip.
Some skirmishes.
Safari trip. Seeing which one he wants to take on for our first Gavan vs. Wild live premiere.
I went ahead and killed I killed every single animal. I went to Africa and killed a hippo for everybody who fucking doubted me.
Exclusive preview
Got its head
of
on
Planet
my
Earth,
shoulders.
narrated by David Attenborough.
That's good.
But yeah, got a lot to dive into today.
Some foreshadowing there. We got some foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing of a body of water, maybe?
Maybe.
Stay tuned. Gavan vs. Wild coming up.
And we are back. And let's cut into the cake. Let's cut into it real good. Kenobi. Since our last episode, 3 episodes of Kenobi have been released.
Sheesh.
That's halfway through the series now.
Literally.
I was going to say, isn't there only 6 episodes?
That's sick. I love it.
We're not going to give any spoilers, so don't worry about any spoilers if you haven't seen it, because Gavin has not seen it. He'll watch Moon Knight religiously, but not Kenobi.
I look forward. I was more hyped for Moon Knight, okay?
He'd rather play For Honor.
Yes. Or Rainbow. Or both.
Either one sound like horrible times, and I've never even played those games.
They're not good times, I'll tell you that.
Exactly.
Aren't they? They're both Ubisoft, right?
Yes. They're both not good times
Well,
either.
therein lies your problem.
Jacob, as the in-house Star Wars expert,
Yes.
you have it tattooed on your body.
Actually, yes, I do.
You do? Let me see that.
I
crazy.
just flashed Gavin.
Flashed him.
Team Galactic all the way. The Galactic Empire.
Hang
I know.
brain.
We don't accept your kind here.
So Jacob, what do you think of Kenobi? What does your Star Wars inner fan think about the show?
My inner fan.
Your outer fan.
Oh.
Your fan. What do you think of the show?
My ceiling fan loves it, but me also, I love it.
That was a good one.
I want to wait till see how it finishes because of like the link between the prequels and the original trilogy. So right now I'm having a great time, but depending on how they finish it, certain characters, certain interactions between Kenobi and other people involved in the Star Wars universe. It's really hard not giving spoilers. I don't know how much are spoilers. But I just want to see how it ends.
Yeah. And I think that's a fair assessment. I know there's been a lot of criticism and controversy with Moses Ingram's character, who plays a character in the
an Inquisitor, a Jedi Hunter, if
An
you will.
Exquisitor.
Yes.
Yes.
We're gonna clip that.
No, we don't.
I'm gonna clip it.
That was a
An
bad one.
exquisite. I thought it was funny.
Anyway,
Which one is it Grand one?
Grand Inquisitor? What
Yeah. Who do they play?
One of the Inquisitors, not the Grand.
No.
Okay.
One of the regular Jedi Hunters. Third sister is her name.
But
Ooh,
I have heard
there's
the
been
controversy around that
a lot
character.
of
It's based around people not liking what's happening with that character, and they're attacking the actress.
I've never understood that. Never understood that.
especially coming from a writer's point
Exactly.
of view.
Yeah,
You're like,
I see something I don't like, which I can see. I can understand why fans don't like the character right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even done yet, so I don't have that opinion, but I can see why this character's made to be unlikable.
Yeah, and if the actor does that or the actress does that
That's
well,
doing a
then
good job.
She's doing a good job.
Doing what the writers intended.
Yeah.
they definitely,
Why is that her fault?
They definitely intend for her to be unlikable because
it's
the
very
other
apparent.
characters don't even like her.
Yes.
And it's
Very apparent.
so then therefore the audience doesn't like her. So there's a reason for it. It just comes down to why. Like,
Yeah.
what's the reasoning? That's why, as Jacob said, like, it's a matter of finishing it. Wait till all the episodes are out so you can evaluate it as a whole instead of nitpicking. I mean, it happened after the first 2 episodes that she was getting attacked about it.
I was telling Ethan about this too. Because he just asked me about it or he brought it up. But with this character, I mean, like I said, I totally get why people don't like the character. Even characters in the show are attacking her or like putting her down, saying she's nothing, whatever. And I want to see what happens, why in the story.
Yeah, you just got to give that time to unfold.
Yeah, exactly. So if that does not happen, if there's no reason for that, if she just ends up being kind of like brushed to the side towards the end, then I'll have a problem with how that character was portrayed. And then but still, you don't attack the actress.
Well, I mean, even if that is what happens, it's not her fault that it happened.
No, not at all. So
exactly.
I don't get that either.
I mean, the same. That seems to be the thing with Star Wars.
And that's another thing I want to talk about is the Star Wars community. The fan base is a very large fan base.
Yes,
and so actors get attacked. I think in every version of it, that's not the original trilogy.
I think so.
So like the prequels, Jar Jar Binks, the actor.
Yeah.
Hayden Christensen
with social media,
Kid Anakin.
Social media becoming
Jake Lloyd
huge in the past.
It's made it so much easier for those attacks to seep through.
Like poor Daisy Ridley.
Exactly.
Poor Daisy Ridley. But I thought she did a good job.
Wow, I totally forgot her name.
Karen.
Oh,
wow. The one that plays Rose?
Rose. Yeah, I forgot her name. Marie Karen.
Oh, Rose. I fucking hated Rose's character.
Oh my God.
But see, the problem, I don't hate it because
the
of
character.
Her. Yeah.
Yes. No, yeah, I never understood the hate towards actors.
Well, the problem is they didn't try to make her an unlikable character. She just became
Marie
one.
Tran.
Yeah. Kelly
Marie Tran. Yeah, she got like horrifically attacked.
And I'm sure she was only doing what she was told to do.
It was also one of the first of the Star Wars things of the social media age to where you are capable or have access to do that.
It's kind of sad because even like in interviews leading up to the premiere of The Last Jedi, like they would ask her about her character, and she's like really apprehensive because it's like there's not much. She knows what the performance is. So I mean, it's not her fault.
Yeah,
she's getting paid money to do it. I mean, she's fine, but
I'm sure she's a great actress too.
Oh yeah, she
haven't seen
acted well.
I haven't seen her in anything else, but I mean.
Bad.
I don't imagine you just get casted into Star Wars on accident.
No.
So with the Star Wars fan base, I also feel there is a divide within the fan base because of how much different alternative medias there are with Star Wars.
Well, that and there's people who watched the originals in the 70s versus people who grew up in the 2000s watching the prequels, and now the sequels coming out, late 2010s.
Yeah.
So, do you think the same thing that happened with the prequels is going to happen then?
With the sequels?
Yeah, so like everybody hated the prequels on release, but 15 years later. I
can't see it happening just because
there's
I guess
too
Jacob
much.
Can explain.
Yeah, I mean, maybe with like the younger generation appreciating it more, kind of like how the prequels were. And I'll always not like them more than the others, but I don't see it happening because of how closely related it is to the prequels and the original trilogy and how not similar they are. So, I mean,
I just felt it undoes a lot that the other movies established.
Yeah,
like that's why I dislike them so much. Even though yes, the visuals might be cool, the technology is better to make them more visually entertaining to watch. But like the decisions they make with the story writing, they didn't have a single direction while writing it. They made Force Awakens. They're like, all right, now where do we take it?
It was admitted after Rise of Skywalker came out that they had no plan when making the movie.
Exactly.
So, and also if you think about it, there's the original trilogy and then the prequels that, chronologically are before them. So they're all one story. Mm-hmm. And then the sequels are like a branch off that main tree.
Yeah.
So they're not going to be the same. I mean, I'll be totally fine if I just forget about them when I get dementia when I'm 80 years old. I'll be totally fine with that.
That'll be a blessing.
But yeah, that's where I stand. Kenobi's been great. I give it 4.5 stars out of 5 right now.
If it stays pace, by far one of the best Star Wars media to come out.
I think The Mandalorian will, if it stays pace, I think The Mandalorian will still be right there, maybe a little bit better.
I think Season 1 Mandalorian is one of the best things.
Season 1 was great.
Season 1 Mandalorian is just like, it's just Star Wars. Mm-hmm. But when you take like Obi Wan Kenobi and like try to like fit in this other story in between his whole story, there's a lot that could go wrong.
Was there a single like Force user in Mandalorian season 1, not season 2?
Grogu.
Force user.
Oh, that's right. I meant like prevalent, like Jedi.
He was trying to find one.
Jedi? No.
He was trying to find one.
So I think they should do more stories like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Obviously, you want to have Force in there, but like, kind of where it's like, oh, not everybody is a Jedi or some random.
I think that's why Mandalorian did so well.
Also, Rogue One is like that. I mean, other than
true.
Vader at the end,
which is more of like a fan service type thing, but it was really cool to watch.
And most people like Rogue One. I mean, better than Solo or
some
the sequels even. Yeah.
Last Jedi.
But yeah, with Kenobi, Obi Wan Kenobi is my favorite Star Wars character, and
Agree.
most of that comes from the prequels and Ewan McGregor's portrayal of him.
Did great.
He does amazing. He's great. I don't care what Joe says.
Joe didn't like him?
That's another story.
Then unshout out Joe.
Shout out Joe. Have a safe trip in the. I'm not going to give away your location. Just kidding. Have a safe trip to Spain. So with Kenobi, the way it's really hard for the writers to do backflips and these crazy gymnastics to not unravel anything that's already been, not to contradict a story that's already there. Like there's certain things that you can't do with Kenobi's character because of where he ends up in the original trilogy. Where the Clone Wars and if Rebels or comics and all that.
Exactly. With episode 1, 2, and 3, those are the ones that are out right now. I have a lot of questions about current canon from the original trilogies, Rebels, prequels, all that kind of stuff. I have a lot of questions. It could be canon breaking, I guess.
Yeah.
But if all of how the ending comes around.
Well, this is why I don't like when they do prequel type stuff.
We talked about this last week, and we're Gavan should be here for it.
It's like, by the way, Chicago style is better than New York. So I don't know who the fuck was smoking
wrong
before you guys started. But before we go on that,
okay, eat your pizza soup.
But it's under the cheese.
Eat your lasagna.
But so it's if there's any danger presented to Obi-Wan, we know he lives. If there's a cool character that was created, we know that either they die or they go off somewhere because they're never to be seen again, unless it's. So it's just I can't get attached to new characters, but at the same time, I feel like Obi-Wan's safe. It's whatever, Darth Vader could show up and then hold him at gunpoint. It's I know he's going to live.
I don't think they're portraying it by that way. I think it's more about the journey.
Yeah, I know. Because it just takes excitement out of it.
You know where he's at in A New Hope. You see him, hello there. Come here, my old friend. Alec Guinness, you know where he starts in that aspect. So when Kenobi the show starts, you can see oh wow, how does he get there? That's the show. That's the feeling that I get in these first 3 episodes. So I don't think they're presenting a threat to him to be does he die?
What I really like, which it's not a spoiler, but they portray him as a broken man in a sense, because if you've
seen the prequels, you know why he's broken.
Exactly. And that's why. So after going through all of that with Anakin, with the Clone Wars, with Order 66, and experiencing just all of that, you can understand why he's broken. So I think the show is portraying him trying to his journey to Alec Guinness, like Jacob said, and then his whole connection with the Force. Yoda told him to train with Qui-Gon, to learn to talk to Qui-Gon, communicate with him, and learn how to extend yourself beyond life after death. So it's also those stories of him with the Force, him a broken man, and it's interesting because I like seeing that progression. I like when heroes are not at their peak performance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was nearly 20 years that he was, in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. So it's
so we're in the halfway mark.
Was it only 20?
It's less
roughly.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Luke and Leia were 19.
Luke was born.
Yeah,
that's right.
So once it ends, I'll be able to give an astute opinion on the matter. But right now, I'm just enjoying the ride. And I have I have questions. I have no complaints. I will only complain at the end if I have complaints.
Yeah, that's fair, and that's a fair assessment in anything that's ongoing.
Yeah, it's not done yet.
Exactly.
Why is everybody getting all mad? It's not done.
That's Star Wars fans. They're a hard bunch to please most of the time.
Like we said, it's a huge range of age people, demographics,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. So I get it. I mean, you have conflict in anything. But if you talk to Call of Duty fans or something, like it's really minute. So everybody has the same opinion.
Or For Honor fans, for that matter, too.
For Honor, Ubisoft enjoyers, active.
Gosh.
For Honor connoisseurs. All three of us out there.
All three.
Average Ubisoft player versus average Activision sufferer.
Sufferer.
It's me. I play Call of Duty.
Damn. You still play
Sorry.
Call of Duty? What are they on now?
Huh?
What are they on now? What do they even call them anymore?
Call of Duty 7.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is releasing this fall
Is it like a remake or is
next
it,
year.
They
I don't
already
even
did that.
remember.
They already did the remake.
They did the remake of Modern
So-
Warfare, the original, so it's a new Modern Warfare and a new Modern Warfare 2.
Oh, yeah. It's coming with this one. Because remember, they did a new Modern Warfare? So it's Modern Warfare 2 onto that one. Not Call of Duty 4.
Okay.
But-
It's
Yeah, I don't know why the fuck they did
They call
that.
it Modern Warfare 2019.
Yeah, I don't know why they did
Oh,
Modern
okay.
Warfare.
Okay. It's like the new Spider-Man video game that's coming out. I won't call it Spider-Man 2, the game, because
Right.
that already exists. I'm going to call it Spider-Man
It's like
PlayStation
when people
2.
call the
Spider-Man the game
Spider-Man PS4.
Yeah.
That's what they call it. Yeah, it's like that. That
Okay.
kind of thing.
That's really confusing, though.
Yeah, it is.
There's like 3 Modern Warfare 1s and 2 Modern
Like,
Warfare 2s.
oh, you're playing Modern Warfare 2? It's like, which one?
Which one? At that point, just call them Call of Duty. Like, oh, Call of Duty? New Call of Duty. Call of Duty. Call of Duty
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
Call of Duty this.
Yeah.
Wow.
But then
Call
there's
of Duty.
Vanguard, Cold War.
But
it's
isn't
like,
all Call of Duties
jeez.
like the same? Like,
No,
with-
there's like 3 different developers.
But
Yeah.
they're essentially first-person shooter.
That's the
They're
most
the
of the similarities.
same game, yeah.
Okay.
With
Same mechanics.
So there's no like fighter jets.
no, like in that aspect, no. Like
not
technically
Battlefield.
speaking, there's different engines,
Okay.
different game modes, different. I mean, I guess, but it's all the same
guns.
game. It's all the same game, and I
Interesting.
pay $60 every year for it. So
That's
As
crazy.
long as it's a good zombies mode.
it's only in half the games, though.
Yeah.
I know
That's
they
why I
have, like,
stopped playing
2
after Black Ops
versions.
3.
Well, I like fighter jets. And speaking of fighter jets,
Jesus.
I saw Top Gun this weekend,
Woo!
and
Maverick or Top Gun?
Top Gun Maverick and the original for the first time.
Did they show both of them in theaters?
No, I watched the original at home, and then I went to go see Maverick.
Because you've never seen the
I've
original.
never
Top
seen
Gun.
the original Top Gun.
Can't believe you never went to the Danger Zone.
And here's the thing. I knew like it was good. Like I just thought it was a normal blockbuster, like the original, right? Mm-hmm. Then I watched the original,
wasn't
and
a normal
it was epic. It got me fueled. I wanted to be a naval fighter pilot.
Yeah, it's sick.
It's just so cool. So then I went to go see Maverick, and here's how I'll say it. Seeing Top Gun Maverick in theaters was the most enjoyable movie theater experience I've had in years. I'd say probably since Endgame or Infinity War.
Really? Wow.
100%.
Was it because of the audience or?
Just the movie itself. And if you are planning on seeing it, I recommend seeing it in theaters while it's in theaters because the sound design is super crisp and you're going to want a good sound system in theaters to watch it. It's just so... I can't think of any critiques I have about it. I can't think of any negative nitpicks even.
So it's a perfect movie.
I refuse to say any movie is a perfect movie.
10 out of 10 movie?
I'd give it a 99% because
Wow.
I can't give any movie 100%. It just feels wrong.
You heard it here, folks. The movie that beats Encanto.
The one movie, The Beat Encanto. Let's
Finally,
go.
the king
Top
is
Gun
vindicated for
Maverick.
thrones.
No, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was really great. It's obviously about Tom Cruise's character. There's no yes, there are other characters, but it's not about them. And the movie knows that. The sound design's great. They used real jets, no CGI jets.
Really?
So all the footage
So
they have
cool.
of it, they're recording jets actually flying.
That must have been expensive.
I bet it was.
They can afford it.
Tom Cruise took up a
Yeah.
third of the budget.
Literally.
He was a producer on it, so he's fine. And then the cast took fighter jet training, so learn how to act as a pilot, what to
Can you
expect.
just take fighter jet pilot training?
I'm sure with the right amount of money you can. I'm sure
right
you
amount of money, you
can.
can do whatever the hell
I mean, I
you
know
want.
you can get your pilot's
Yeah,
license, but
just-
for a fighter jet, can you just do
Fuck you.
6 months of training?
That'd be awesome. Can you imagine working on that movie and then by the end of it, you're like a certified pilot.
I know how to fly a fucking F2 or some shit. It's awesome.
Crazy.
It was awesome, and usually, I'm very two sides of the same coin when it comes to nostalgia in movies. Like I'm a sucker. I'm a whore for nostalgia, right?
Well, you can recognize that.
I can recognize that. Yeah. I don't think it's good necessarily for movies or for writers. I don't like them when they use it as a crutch. I will say some of that, now that time has passed, applies to No Way Home, is they do that a lot, but because
That was like their only fuel, though.
because I love Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, I enjoyed it.
Nostalgia is a good experience. It doesn't make it a good movie.
Exactly.
Like if you really like what they're going for the nostalgia factor,
and that's why I like
you
No Way
enjoy
Home.
it, then that's fine.
That's what I said with No Way Home is I love the experience.
It's not going to make it a good movie to
wasn't-
watch for everybody.
Exactly. And with Top Gun, there are scenes you can pull out from Maverick and compare it right to the original that are just parallels. And they do it in such a beautiful, tasteful way.
There's one question, or two questions I guess I have.
Yeah.
They both regard towards the sound.
Okay.
Does
Yes.
Danger Zone get a remaster? Let's fucking
Let's-
go.
I don't want to...
What about Playing with the Boys?
What about Take My Breath Away by Bruno?
Is there a beach volleyball
Hold on.
scene?
Take my breath. Okay, guys. I'm going to... If you guys are asking these questions you really want to know, I'm going to tell you.
No. I want to see it.
Okay. Because I don't want to give anything away.
Just not... Okay.
No, I do want to see it.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Let me...
I figured-
you will not be disappointed.
I figured
That's all I will
Danger
say.
Zone. I figured Danger Zone had a remaster.
Beach volleyball
How
scene?
could it not?
You will not be disappointed.
go.
Let's go.
Not exactly. But it's... Hey.
Indoor volleyball.
You guys won't be disappointed. It's an overall great movie. There is so much that I want to unpack on it, and I will in about a month to give all you guys the opportunity to watch it.
Val Kilmer. Let's go.
Val Kilmer's in it.
Yeah.
It has a great cast. John Hamm's in it.
Man.
John Hamm,
Whoa.
Ed Harris. They play like minor roles.
Ed Harris is in it?
Yeah, Ed Harris is in it.
Was he in the original
they do
Top
good.
Gun?
No.
What the shit? What are you doing here?
Miles Teller does an amazing job. He plays Goose's son and is a spitting image
Really?
of Goose. He does a great job even acting as well. And Miles Teller, we've talked about him before, or me and Gavin have at least. I don't know if we talked about it on the show.
From the drumming movie.
Yeah, from Whiplash.
Yeah, that one.
I watched War Dogs. I watched them like back to back, so I saw Miles Teller, and he's usually like a dick in all the movies he is.
Yeah.
To an extent, he is in this movie, but just to certain characters.
Isn't Whiplash someone's favorite movie that we know?
I think Gavin likes it a lot.
I thought it was really good.
Highly praises it. I don't think he says that's his favorite.
Not even close.
I know somebody who's its favorite movie. But I don't know who.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's a
If it's
fucking
you,
awesome
It's a
movie.
it's a really good movie.
If it's you, reach out to my publicist.
My favorite Miles Teller movie, though, would have to be War Dogs.
War Dogs is good.
I've seen War Dogs maybe 20,000 times.
My favorite's Fantastic Four.
Cool.
I'm just kidding. Gavin's face.
It's unfortunate.
I have not seen that one, thankfully.
That's
I
unfortunate.
haven't seen the whole thing.
You're not missing out on anything.
But yeah, I really enjoyed Top Gun, and I am kind of disappointed that I have not watched it my entire
Until
life.
now. Yeah.
But I'm glad I got to watch it like back to back.
I'm
because
disappointed we didn't get to make that a movie of the week.
I'm disappointed too.
Well, you said it's the best movie theater experience.
It's the best movie theater experience. It's the best. It's a great movie too.
Like, okay, so it's a great movie, and experiencing in the theaters is also good.
Yeah, I like I said, going.
So you
to,
didn't watch Kong vs. Godzilla in the movie theater, then?
I didn't.
Oh, I did. That
I
shit was
didn't.
fucking awesome. Holy
Oh, you actually
shit.
did it.
I did it. I
forgot.
watched it on HBO.
Watching
My
that
God.
movie in the theaters was,
That movie was awesome.
crazy. That was
Damn.
Yo, I was like, you know that meme where it's like Joe Rogan?
We have to rip. Yeah, Joe
where he's just like
Rogan.
looking up.
Yeah.
He's like, that was me the whole fucking time.
literally, yeah.
Um,
I totally forgot you actually watched it on HBO.
yeah,
Like,
I watched it right when it came out. I didn't
You
go.
what?
I didn't go to school for it. I was living alone, an hour away, so
I would've-
I didn't have anyone nearby.
Talk about when you lived in the apartments.
Yeah.
You know,
35
I
minutes.
drove up there like every day for like 2 weeks at one point. I would have saw it with you again if you
Well,
just asked.
here's the thing.
Oh, yeah, watching
Right
that.
when it was available on HBO, I didn't go to class that morning. It was like 7:30 in the morning. I just watched it
So you watched
Kong
it
vs.
while,
Godzilla on your phone at 7:30 in the morning at home.
What a waste.
on my iPad.
I'd have
Oh,
beat the shit out of you
excuse
for
me.
that. But
Yeah.
you're like half awake.
Maybe we should rent out a theater and watch it, guys.
That sounds expensive as hell.
It's like $100 an hour.
How long? Kong versus Kong versus Godzilla is like 2.5 hours, isn't it?
Okay, so $350, $250.
Great math.
I can.
Split it by 3.
We did not become math majors, in case anyone's wondering.
Damn,
So-
it's been a long time since I've been in a math class.
So I can rent out a theater, play a movie, and then charge people to get in.
Damn, we should make a business out of that.
That
What if people get hungry? We should get like popcorn or something.
Yeah,
you guys want to start a movie theater business?
Jesus. A
we
white
can
noise movie.
watch Morbius.
Oh,
Morbid
what's
time.
that?
Fun fact: Morbius.
Sucks.
I don't know if you guys have heard of this movie. Morbius.
I don't know if everybody's fucking heard of that movie. How could they not? It sold more $1 billion.
It premiered in March, and it was fantastic. No, it was a flop. It was one of the worst superhero movies ever. One of the lowest rated movies on Rotten Tomatoes for a Marvel movie.
I
And
told you that after watching the previews. Jesus.
Yeah, the previews did not
After-
sell me.
it's just,
Literally, the first time I watched the preview afterwards, I was just like, huh.
I was intrigued.
Who the fuck is Morbius?
Here's the
I
thing.
was definitely not into
I was intrigued. But, so that being said, huge flop. Because it flopped so bad, these past 2.5 months, people have been memeing it. Like, saying the iconic quote, "It's Morbin time," that Jared Leto says 19 times in the movie. Just kidding.
He
doesn't.
actually
No,
said,
he doesn't.
Oh,
Okay.
does he say it at all?
No.
Okay, cool.
It's
Who the
just
fuck
thank
can say
goodness.
it's Morbin time?
It's
You can't
Morbin
say that
time.
seriously.
I was going to say, that makes it 100 times worse if he actually says that. I thought it was funny before that.
Yeah, he says it before he morbs all over the fucking villains.
I'm going to morb you up.
So that's the meme of it, and because it did so bad, the meme is like, "Oh, it made more $1 billion, or like $2 more billion." It's the most popular movie ever made. It's the greatest movie of all time. Like, people are just memeing the crap out of it, laughing at its failure. And about a week ago, hey, approximately a week ago, people started saying like, "Dude, we need to stop with the Morbius memes because they're gonna think we want a sequel." And now there's speculation that a sequel is going to happen.
Jesus Christ. What if that one's like godlike, though?
Isn't that good, though? Like, more memes?
More memes. More billion memes.
How long do memes
free
last?
memes.
How long do memes last though?
A week?
Sometimes they
at
die
most.
out. They die out.
Okay. I'm not spending millions of dollars making this movie.
But at least we get 2 more
and I
weeks
get
of memes.
free memes.
And with that being said, here's the icing on the cake. They are re-releasing Morbius in theaters this weekend.
Oh my god. Perfect. What do you know?
And we are going to review it for the movie of the week. So get into a movie theater and watch Morbius.
It's Morbin time.
It's Morbin time. And that is the first time we revealed the movie of the week next week before getting into our movie of the week this week, which was Brothers.
Say, speaking of movie of the week. I gotta say, I was very surprised when I head that in the last week's episode.
Yeah?
I was like, what the fuck was that?
I thought it was interesting. Wilhelm scream, little film history there. So, Brothers was the movie of the week. Gavin, what'd you think?
All right. I thought this was a very heavy, as Marty McFly would say, this was pretty heavy. Very
Never seen Back to the Future.
sin. Very good movie, but it was very saddening at the same time, I mean, it's a war movie, and it shows like
Yeah.
a realistic depiction, I guess. I would assume a realistic depiction.
Yeah.
Not a historian on that, but
It showed it. If not realistic, it at least
tried to be.
shows the brutality of it.
Yeah, like, have you ever seen American Sniper?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's all I could think of the whole time because it's just PTSD, his time after being back. His daughter was a complete fucking asshole.
And that actress is in a lot of things too.
I know, but I saw it.
There's
I
a
was
lot
like,
of people
oh,
in
yeah,
this movie.
The actress or that daughter was like the fucking pinnacle of all the conflict in the later end of this movie.
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal, I did a great job in this movie.
Here's the thing. I was really excited going into this movie because I was like, oh, I've heard this movie is like Tobey Maguire's like one of his best acting roles. And then I go into it, and I'm like, damn, he's standing against Jake Gyllenhaal and Natalie Portman, some of the best actors in Hollywood. Boy doesn't stand a chance. And while I think he did good, like a good job, there were some weak moments in his portrayal, but like I think post PTSD he did a great job.
Oh yeah, he was awkward as hell. The scene where he goes up to his daughters when they're playing.
That's just, you can just say that about Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, I was just
he
like,
awkward as-
I was like,
yeah.
I was like, Jesus Christ.
So thoroughly enjoyed it as just for the story it was telling, the happy ending, not the happy ending. It didn't have a happy ending.
Not a happy ending.
I watched it a while ago, so I knew I had to, or I watched it right after we recorded last time. So, I always compare movies when it tells these uncomfortable stories to a marriage story. Because when I first watched A Marriage Story, it made me feel uncomfortable, and that's a good thing because the writers did their job, making you feel like you're in the room with the characters in the scene. And A Marriage Story is the first movie I watched to where I felt that way, so I always compare other movies I see afterwards to that. And Brothers was one of those movies. It handles the heavy subject matter, and it makes it feel like you're in the room when they're having dinner with these uncomfortable scenes. It makes it feel like you're in the room when Tobey Maguire makes these tense situations out of nothing.
Oh, yeah. Dude.
Like the whole elephant thing was kind of made me, it was sad.
Yeah, I was like, oh. But the birthday?
The birthday,
birthday dinner? You could cut the fucking tension with it. Like, oh my God. The whole time, I was watching with my aunt, shout out Mandy. But, and, the whole time that scene, she's just fucking with the balloon. We're both just like hands on our mouth. We're like, what are you fucking doing?
You know Tobey Maguire's character is going to snap. You just don't know how he's going to snap.
Yeah, because you keep seeing him going like, Isabel, stop. And I'm just like, bro, please fucking stop.
Yeah.
And then, outburst of some shit that shouldn't have been said from like a, 7, 8-year-old?
Yeah. And it's, I don't know if this was just me or if I missed something or I wasn't paying attention. But throughout the movie, that Jake Gyllenhaal just kissed Natalie Portman. That's it. That's all that happened between them. But then Tobey Maguire's kind of reaction to the whole situation, you start to question yourself. You're like, wait, did I miss like an implication that something more happened?
I'm glad you say that because I was asked, I'm like, did they fuck? I'm like,
yeah,
I don't
exactly.
recall they kissed for like 30 seconds and then immediately stopped. I don't even know if it was that long.
It was like 10 seconds or less.
It was like two kisses and then like a semi-long one. And then they went their own ways. And, that whole time I'm thinking, did I miss? Did they imply that they did it and they just didn't show it?
Yeah. So I think, I don't know if it was done purposely, but they did a good job with that. That is a huge plus to this movie because you kind of feel for Tobey Maguire's character and you're like, wait, did they? Did they not? Yeah. And you're kind of in his head about it.
Mm-hmm. And then I liked towards the end of the movie, you can hear the Taliban again as he has the gun to his head. Which was another fucking very uncomfortable scene with the cops and everything. I was like, holy, I'm going to keep it real. I'm surprised the cops didn't shoot his ass, like waving the gun around and stuff. But I was very, very, immersed and scared for Toby at that point in time.
Me too. I didn't know what was going to happen. I've seen that scene in clips on the internet. So I knew it was coming up when I was almost done with the movie. I was like, oh, so it happens at the end. And then Jake Gyllenhaal keep yelling, this is a family matter. I thought that was a little comical.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like, there's no specific reason. I just liked it.
And then the police are like, okay, give him a minute. I'm like, bro, what? Like, this guy's got a gun.
I think, so they knew, the reason the officers acted the way they did is because I think they knew this situation he was in. Like, this war hero who was pronounced dead for 3 months.
Well, yeah, they even say you're a war hero.
Exactly. So I think that's why they were a little hesitant to do anything, to take action. But even the ending, like, he gets into a rehabilitation center, and it's not even a happy ending. It really shows the truths of reality, the truths of war, PTSD, the mental health of it all.
Yeah.
And like when he finally tells her, like, I killed him.
Oh, dude, that scene.
Yeah.
Where he does, because at first I'm thinking he's not gonna do it.
He's not gonna do it. Yeah.
And then he does. I'm like, holy shit, dude. Oh my. Honestly, I can't. I don't know what I would have done in that situation. But at the same time, I can't criticize the private for telling them that he had a wife and kids because, he was scared. He's a private, so he's not. This isn't.
Exactly.
He's new. But at the same time, if you just kept your fucking mouth shut, you would have been fine. You would have been fine. Well, I don't know about fine, but you wouldn't have been dead.
If I was in Tobey Maguire's position, I genuinely don't think like I generally don't think I would have gone out alive at all. Like, I'm gonna die no matter what I do.
Yeah.
So like, just get it over with, Mm-hmm. So I did not expect him to kill him the way he did, or kill him at all.
He did it quick too.
Yeah, it was brutal, which, like,
And then
it was hard to watch. The movie was good at making it hard to watch.
yeah, and then the scene where you see that guy's wife and kid. I
thought he was hallucinating, but she was actually there.
yeah, I thought he was gonna tell her right there. Like he was just looking at it, giving an empty stare. I thought he was gonna be like, "I killed him." Yeah, it was me. I thought he was gonna do some shit like that, make it even worse. But surprisingly, I'm surprised he was able to keep his cool and not tell anybody. I feel like I would have outed myself quickly. I don't know if I would have been able to keep that a secret.
Yeah.
Especially looking into the baby of this dude that I just brutally murdered. But I don't know. But that's where like the stuff that I like about the movie ends right there. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, all that's usually in like the last half of the movie. The first half of the movie, unfortunately,
I felt like the pacing was really off.
Yeah.
That's one of my major critiques is Tobey Maguire doesn't come back with PTSD till like after an hour in the movie.
Yeah, and even then it takes a little bit for it to kick in.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder if he even had it. But then you find out.
And then what's another critique you have? Because I'm trying to think
I didn't
here.
like the family stuff in the beginning. For one, it felt obvious because it's like, oh, you're showing this. I know this is a war movie. You're showing me happy times with family, so I'm going, okay, so something bad's about to happen. Obviously, I mean, even if you didn't read the description, you know something bad's going to happen. But also, it just felt forced.
Yeah,
It didn't feel natural. It was just like, oh, we. It's like the director is going, hey, do you guys see this guy's wife and kids? He's got a family. They love each other. They're happy. It's like, okay, I feel like there was a different way we could have done this.
Exactly. I feel like they could have portrayed it a lot better. Instead of very proper kind of pin-up family, I would have liked to seen a more kind of like chaotic house, like a Saturday morning, everybody's rushing around the house type of thing.
Yeah.
Just to show that chemistry there, you know?
Or
they're not thinking about like, oh, he's going to get deployed. They're like, oh, I'm going to miss him. Like, don't be gone that long. I think that would have made it better and not so forced.
one of the things that I was thinking that I was talking to my aunt about was that
Shout out Mandy.
Shout out Mandy. Is I don't know if this would have been a good idea or not, but I was thinking like if it was me doing this, I probably would
definitely be a good idea.
I probably would have had it start out in the cave, and then you have flashbacks to the family to win sympathy towards the main character, rather than start out
That's
with this sort of rainbow type life.
Done correctly, I feel like that would have been good.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying it would have been, that's what I should have, that's what they should have done, but it's like, I feel like that would have, for me personally, I can't speak for everybody else, that would have won more sympathy over to me, if it not for the actress, the little girl, who played a phenomenal, crying and stuff like that. I feel like that would have won more sympathy over me. Otherwise, I was just like, this is generic, half-hearted, forced.
I can say generic. That's a good way to describe it. Generic and forced, which they got out of the way pretty quickly.
Yeah. And that's another thing that I hated. I'm like, we just brushed past that. Like, it just felt like that was a chore, and the director and the writers were like, okay, now let's start the movie.
I feel the main characters, Tobey Maguire, Jake Gyllenhaal's characters, they could have been fleshed out more with a little bit more backstory to them to see who they are. What I did like, what they did with Tobey Maguire in the beginning was you saw how he talked to his daughter and how he acted. You saw how he talked to his wife and how he acted, which was two different things. And then you saw how he talked to his brother and how he acted. It was the typical brother banter, the husband-wife talking, the father and daughter talking.
Right.
And not a lot of movies do that because they make the character the same with every interaction they have. And that's not every movie, but that's something I noticed in this film with the writing, with the characters. And it established his relationship with each of them so that you can compare them when you come back.
Right. And then speaking of how they talk to each other, I really did like Jake Gyllenhaal's conflict with his dad. I thought that was really well done. Although, I think it as it went on, it got better. But definitely, going back to the whole forced part.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it was just like, hey, we need somebody to be an asshole.
Yeah.
So it was
that's the thing. It did feel forced. That's unnecessary things to say.
Like his dad was just going compared to what food? I was like, really?
Yeah.
Like, come on. That's so out of pocket that doesn't even feel fucking natural to say at the dinner table with your grandkids.
This might be unpopular for the show, or very rare that it happens. It could have been all the critiques could have been fixed if the movie was longer.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think if we had arranged,
if you
rearranged
had
the movie,
20 more minutes of screen time, fix those things up, it would have been improved upon.
I think so. Yeah.
Look at that.
Because like the Taliban part, like it looked like they had a leader, but who was he?
Up until the last 30 minutes, nothing was really fleshed out. You know, it was just very surface level stuff until you get to the nitty gritty with the interactions in the end.
Yeah. So it's like his whole conflict with the Taliban could have been like its own movie, like was that Tom Hanks movie, like Captain
Kirk,
Captain
really?
Kirk.
Captain
Picard?
Phillips,
Picard?
Captain Phillips,
Yeah, Captain Phillips.
Like on the
so it's like
boat.
all I can think of.
him and his distress, like that's the whole movie. But
Yeah.
it's like, okay, we got to get this movie out of the way first, and then now let's
Yeah.
do the PTSD movie.
Yeah, I will admit
They
that,
could have been balanced a lot better. Yeah,
for playing such a major impact on one of the main characters, the Taliban had a very minor role.
which is why I think with Gavin's critique of, if they started it with him
Right.
captured, then there would have been more. That would have already been established. You wouldn't have to worry about like, how did you get there exactly? You could have
Right.
just sped those parts up in the flashbacks.
And just focus on the family part.
Exactly.
Brother,
That
all
being said, though, Tommy's part with the family
Great.
while Toby was dead,
His-
quote unquote dead, was fucking awesome. I loved
His,
that. Was a
his
great
chemistry with all the characters, his portrayal of the character, his acting. He did a phenomenal job.
part. Amazing.
When he found out that Toby died,
Yeah.
or died, and he gets all mad at Natalie Portman's character, it just shows like the instant reaction of it. You know, you don't really know how to.
And then even her reaction, because
Yeah.
one of my critiques was like, damn, for finding out that her husband just died, she's taking it really well. And then she tells Tommy, and then Tommy, that's when she starts to break down, because, I imagine she was keeping it together for the kids.
Yeah.
But then she starts, like, sobbing, and I'm like, oh, there it is. I was like, exquisite. Like, exquisite. I was like, that was phenomenal, to me, at least. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think I think all the actors did a great job. Tobey Maguire included. This was one of his stronger acting roles. He can do drama.
And it also had the meme scene. You know what I did?
Yeah.
Where he's like,
You know what I
shit.
did with these hands?
Yeah. I was like, hey, I know that scene.
But he did really good in that scene. Like he was an unhinged maniac when he started breaking everything. And I was like, damn.
He was on a
dude.
dime, too. He was cool, and then, like, 5 seconds later, breaking shit.
I feel
Did
like
he do
that's
method acting for that?
I feel like because I've seen a clip from another movie I want to watch where he plays Bobby Fischer, where it's also a meme where he's like, "That's over now. That was today."
Oh, the pawn
The
sacrifice
chess,
or whatever?
yeah, the chess movie. Like even just that clip where he's yelling, he does a good job. It's like, man, Tobey Maguire, you need to yell more.
Yeah, dude. In
When-
Spider-Man 2, when he's crying at Mary Jane, telling her to move out of the way, that was like an Oscar-worthy
He's like, get the
performance.
fuck out of the
Yo,
street. There are
that's
cars
what I
there.
was gonna say.
motherfucker.
Beat me to it. Yeah, I mean, I guess he's just being himself.
Get out of the way.
Or when he tells the fucking paparazzi, hey, watch out, there's a car coming. He
What-
gets hit, and you just
what-
see him laughing.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
That's our Spider-Man.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
yes,
exquisite. But Ethan, what would you say? What would you say your rating on this movie is?
You know, I feel like we hyped it up a lot, and usually we always do that. So I come in here with a rating, and then after we talk about it, I bump it up. But I'm going to stay true to what I came in here with, 75% for this movie.
I will give it a 78.
Really?
If that first half had been great, not what I suggested, but if it had just been a lot more better crafted, I would have given this movie like a 90, just because that
Really?
last half was so good. When he comes
Okay.
back and his PTSD is there, everything from that point on was so good, and even the part before that with Tommy and the family. But it's just that first 25, 30 minutes was just,
Okay.
For me, it was just like, hurry up. It was like The Gentleman almost, where it was like, first 20
Okay.
minutes was ass, but then afterwards it was like, oh shit, okay, here we go. But at least with the Gentleman, I feel like had a much more tolerable beginning, just because it wasn't as generic.
Because it was comedically done.
Yeah,
I think,
it was
too.
comedically done, and camera editing and work kept me a lot more physically locked in compared to this, where I'm gonna keep it real. There were times where I'm like, what time is it?
That's great. You came in here with, I know, I kept looking at how much was left on the
how much-
time. I was like, this is an hour and 40 minutes long. How much is left?
Jeez.
You came in here with 65%. What? And you
I
bumped,
said 65 to 70.
you said 65. And it's a 78. It landed at 78. So
Because I was talking about how well the last half was. Like I
Okay.
said, first half was any better, this movie would have been 80% at least.
fair. Cool. I enjoyed it. I would probably. So I know we always say like, what would constitute us watching it again?
For me,
If
any
it was
movie-
on in a hotel, I'd watch it. Or if someone hadn't seen it and they wanted to watch it, I'd watch it with them.
For me, any movie that I give over like an 80%, I don't know if I'll go out of my way, but I wouldn't shy away from watching it again. Like if you said, "Hey, I'm watching this. You want to watch it?" I'd probably be like, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
Yeah.
But I mean, I wouldn't shy away from it.
No, yeah, I wouldn't shy away from it.
Movies that I would seek
other
out,
options.
movies that I would seek out to go watch because I want to watch it. I'd need like a 90% or higher.
Okay.
Keeping
so
in mind,
Hercules, as of right now, is the only movie that I would do that.
keeping in mind
You've
that
only
like
rated Hercules above a 90?
Yeah, Hercules is my highest rated with 95.
And that's before we start like reviewing the actual movie.
that's pretty sick.
Which my rating still fucking stands. I love Hercules. Oh my god, I've seen Hercules.
I love Hercules too.
There was at one point for
Good
2
movie.
years where I watched Hercules like almost every day. So
I had a Hercules comforter.
exquisite. I still have I have Hercules plates, which I talked about in that episode when I was going through looking at the movies. The part that I landed on was me talking about how I use it to help catch grease when I'm making hamburger helper.
I slapped his face on every vase I own.
Every vase on every Voss. Exquisite. Oh, there's like
crazy.
3 already this episode.
I think I have 4 movies that are 90 or above.
I do know the Florida Project.
Three
you
of
guys
them are
talked
in
about.
Kanto. Yeah.
Encanto's one of them.
3 of them are Encanto. I know it's
Encanto spinoff,
Upgrade and Encanto are both at 90.
and then the Florida Project. I think you also had a 90.
I actually had put at 87.
You did. You were the lowest rate one there. Brett put it at like Paul. Shout out Paul. But I mean, how are you going to give it like a 90 or above and go, yeah, I wouldn't watch this movie ever again? Like,
Well,
that doesn't sound like that movie
no,
was that good.
I think that's a fair assessment because I can look at a movie and look at it from a cinematic point of view, critiquing it, and say this movie is very well crafted, but it's not for me. I don't care to watch it again.
Well, then I don't think it should be a 90%. Then I feel like
Okay.
the first 80% is like, or like first 70 to 75 is like how well it was put together, but then that final 25 to 30% is how well you liked it. So it's like for me, Free Fire.
That is fair.
So for me, Free Fire, I don't think it was that well done, and I fucking hated it. So that's why I didn't give it that well.
Dude. Damn. So you listened to last week's episode?
I listened to, it was the longest fucking episode we had, but I listened to like the first hour.
So you didn't hear the end?
No, I had to because I had to go to the song.
Oh, okay.
What part?
But the part where Brett was talking about his first date experience?
No, don't tell me that.
Okay,
I want to hear that.
Yeah, listen to
Back
it
to it.
so that we can call back to it, and because that had a lot of good moments. But yeah, I'm glad he reminded me to talk about it because I was about to close out, and he's like, "Oh wait, I have a bad first date," and I was like, "All right, let's hear it," and did not regret it.
That was great. Loved it.
The best.
Speaking of first dates,
50 First States.
So that's the movie review,
And then next week,
and next week we're gonna watch Morbius.
it's Morbin time for next week.
So I need to find time in my weekend to go watch Morbius.
Going on Sunday.
I
Sunday.
can't on Sunday.
we're working.
We're working on Sunday.
But it's Morbius.
You're right.
So make fucking time
for it.
Sunday.
You're right.
You're going to make time for it. It's Morbius.
We can go night, but that means we have to cancel something.
Fuck. All right. I already told them we were good to go.
Okay,
so.
no scheduling live on the show.
All right, fine.
Exquisite. Stop it. That didn't even work there.
Be sure to watch Morbius and
Or don't.
or don't.
If you want to save yourself a fucking...
I just want to see what all the hype is about.
Oh, no.
I can't
That's
believe
why they're re-releasing
I
it.
can't believe I'm gonna go from Top Gun Maverick to Morbius, guys.
Wow.
It's gonna taint my entire
This might
movie
be This
experience.
might be the highest movie I rate.
Really?
Better than Hercules.
Oh god.
All right, Morbius it is. Let's get into the static then.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the static.
Who was it that said we just introduced the static, but we never talked about what it was?
Brett.
Did he mention it when we were recording?
I think.
I'm not sure. I'm second guessing myself.
Anyway, Brett said we mentioned the static, but didn't elaborate on what it was.
It's just the part of the show that doesn't have any structure.
This is the white noise of the
Is
podcast.
the white? Yes, there it is. It's the white noise. It's where we talk about whatever. There's no structure. There's no TV show news, pop culture news, no movie review. It's whatever we want. You know, that's what it is. So if we didn't explain it last week, now you have an explanation.
to explain it the past, 10 episodes, but yeah.
It's been longer than 10,
Excuse me.
I believe. I don't know how long it's been.
It used to be the
been a
White Noise
blur.
Chronicle, so...
It used to be the White Noise Chronicle.
Indeed.
No, the White Noise Chronicle was in the Static.
Was it?
The Static is just a section that the Chronicle was in, but we never called it White Noise Chronicle. Live. That's what we referred to it as.
White Noise lore?
We refer to everything before the movie review as the happenings, but we don't say that.
Oh,
no?
okay.
So the happenings. Now you guys know that's the happenings.
I don't even know. Okay.
Trying to think. Did anything worth a damn happen that's worth talking
You know what? I went to the Diamondbacks game on Tuesday night.
about? Tragic.
They played the Atlanta Braves.
Sorry for your loss.
No, here's the thing. Baseball gets a lot of hate for being boring, right?
Because it is.
Okay.
Usually you would go with people though. That's when,
I'm going to
Yeah,
go shit-faced.
that's true.
At least I'll have
Here's
some
the thing.
fun.
This was the most exciting baseball game I've ever seen. Hands down.
What, did they score 3 points?
I think the final score was 7-6. Yeah, 7-6.
Damn.
There's a 10th inning. There's an extra inning. Walk-off win. It was epic. The entire time I was there, it was epic. Locked in. The game was entertaining every step of the way. Hands down. Hands down. And then they lost the next day.
yes.
Can't win them all.
Well, it was a 3-game series. They won the first 2, and they lost the last one. So I see that as a win.
Well, that is
And
technically a win.
Fun fact.
It is literally a win.
They should have won after the first
They
two.
won the series.
I see that as a win. I'm still kind of new to baseball and all the logistics of it.
I see that.
I just learned you don't call them points, they're RBIs.
They're runs, yes.
The runs. God, I still messed it up. Damn it.
Who the fuck was it? Paul that said that? Paul was getting into the technicalities.
But with another fun fact is this was the first time since 2017 that the Diamondbacks were above 500 for the month of May.
That's crazy.
The first time in when?
2017. 5 years.
They suck.
Yeah,
They've
Arizona.
been sucking.
Like I've
But
always
they're,
said,
they're
Arizona's
looking
got
good. They're looking promising for the future.
For the so not this season.
This season, it's just because they are in a really tough division, like with the Dodgers just embarrassing them every time we play them or they play them. Damn.
That's one team though.
The team that's in the division that we played, they play the most.
Are you on the team? Do I not know about this?
That's why I keep
Super player.
saying it. I keep saying it like I'm
look up-
covering it up.
Look up the roster real quick. Maybe this is why he always wears gray shirts. He's got Diamondbacks on the inside. Got that Diamondbacks gray shirt on.
I got a new Diamondbacks hat, by the way. I think this is my 5th or 6th one
I noticed.
Jeez.
Why?
because I saw them at Target. They were only $14.
They should have been fucking 10 ducks, maybe less.
10 ducks.
10 ducks. Quack.
Wow.
Diamondbacks, most exciting game I've ever seen. I'm glad I was there.
That's the one.
And I was sitting right in the front row, seeing everything. I was
Catch
in
a foul?
left field.
Wow.
I would have caught a home run if they hit a home run. Because that's where I was. I wasn't in foul ball territory.
Oh. Well, if it's the Diamondbacks, yeah, unfortunately, you don't have to worry about that.
There was actually a home run that night. I just wasn't there because I was late.
But was it the Diamondbacks that did it?
Yeah.
Was it?
Wow.
Actually, when I showed up, it was the other team.
Well, then, no, it wasn't.
But there were 2 home runs. One by the Diamondbacks, one by the Braves. The Atlanta Braves won the World Series last year, which I knew that.
They're
Cringe.
under 500.
And
Fuck
they're
Atlanta.
under 500, and we beat them. They
Well,
beat them.
They're also in the
beat 'em.
state with the Falcons, so that just diminishes everything.
True.
Dang.
know,
Speaking of football,
I'm a huge sports fan.
yeah.
But listening to you talk about the Diamondbacks, I feel like a non-sports fan. Like I can relate now. I can relate.
Huh.
I could just not care any less about the Diamondbacks.
Guys, baseball,
Literally.
baseball is a timeless sport.
Like, they could go to any other state.
It's
and
a
I'd be like,
it's a
"Oh."
gentleman's game. It's here's the thing about the Diamondbacks. Then they're one of the newest teams, Arizona teams,
They won a World Series within like 5 years of their establishment.
in 2 years. Try that. Try that on for size.
Yeah, but
My-
what players went to the
My
Diamondbacks?
statement is still accurate.
Okay.
What
Actually.
players went to the Diamondbacks, though? Was it like all the good ones? So that's why they won?
They're the
Yes.
only Arizona
Yes.
team with a championship.
Unfortunately.
Rattlers, actually. Mercury, actually. So, yeah, you're right. They're the only
Get
Arizona.
with it. Get with it. Get with the times.
Um,
Name 3 WNBA players. That's what I thought.
Brittany. I know that one. I don't know her last name. I just know it's Brittany.
Yes.
She got arrested in Russia.
Detained.
Detained in Russia.
Has she made it out?
Nope. That's why there's this whole Free Britney last name thing.
She's gone.
Oh my
He's
gosh.
He's
last
gone
week.
forever.
Really plugged in.
Russia in a time like now, oof, not a good idea. What the fuck was she doing in Russia?
Playing
Playing.
Oh,
because
That
they
sucks.
need to make money on the off season, so they play in Russia.
Need.
I think so.
She makes 6 figures still.
Does she? Yeah. What's she crying?
so they don't make the same as like LeBron James, but they still make a shit ton like of money.
Do they have the same stats as LeBron James?
Probably not. LeBron James has been playing since like.
So
probably
there's
all
only
of them were,
been
like, kids.
I think there's only been 7 players. No, there's only been 3 players in all of WNBA history that have dunked.
Really?
Yep.
I feel like that would be easy.
I think there's been 27 dunks total, and 23 of them were by the same player.
Really?
Yeah.
I get sponsored by Shaq or what? The guy with 1 3-point made in his entire career. How many? I think I saw somewhere that he had like over 1,000 of those attempted, but he only made 1.
Over 1,000? I find that really hard to believe.
I'd have to pull that back up.
I thought it was 3. I thought he only took 3 attempts.
No, I think he only made 1.
I think it was like 30 something.
30 something?
That's still a horrible ratio.
It does in like what?
How the
He played,
fuck can you not shoot in the-
14 years into the league? However many years in the league and 30 attempts?
How
That's a
could
lot.
you not make only 1? How could you only make 1? How could you only make 1? You're about as tall as the damn board. All you have to do is shoot straight.
It doesn't do it. It's horrific at free throws too. That was the whole thing about
His 3-point percentage is .045.
Fuck.
Dang. That's
pretty
a
bad.
lot.
So let me look at the attempts.
It's all good.
He's had 22 attempts and he's only made 1.
You know, at the end of
Is it
basketball
1,000 point
games,
attempts then at that point?
at the end of basketball games when they go into like the foul thing for like free throws at the very end, they're just trading fouls to make free throws to milk time.
Mm-hmm.
They would intentionally try to foul Shaq so he would have to shoot the free throws because he
so
shot
mean.
like 10%.
Hey, but that means there's a chance that small chance, but there's a chance.
In other sports-related news, Fitzmagic has retired.
Sad. It's actually
Fitzmagic?
sad.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick. Oh,
Fitzmagic.
wasn't he also on the
He's been on a lot of teams.
17 seasons with 9 different teams.
Wasn't he on the Falcons during the fucking Super Bowl playoffs?
I don't think
Super
so, 'cause that was Matt
choke?
Ryan.
Was it Matt Ryan?
Yeah.
When was Ryan Fitzpatrick on the Falcons?
Was he ever on the Falcons?
I thought he was in the
Probably.
Probably. He's been in 9
good
different
chance.
teams.
Let's pull that up. Jamie, pull that up.
No, Matt Ryan was the QB1 for the Falcons.
Okay.
In the
Well,
choke.
Unfortunate.
He might be on there.
Ever since that happened, though, anytime Atlanta gets brought up, all I could think of was just disappointment.
Yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick, criminally underrated.
Wasn't he on the
He went to
Dolphins, too?
Harvard. You guys know that?
Wow.
He's on the Harvard football team?
He played for the Bills, the Bengals, Dolphins, Jets, Rams, Titans, Texans, Bucks, Giants,
Again?
Raiders, Ravens,
He was on the fucking Ravens when?
I remember like none of these.
I don't remember any of these
and the
either.
Jags. Damn.
I do remember him on the Jags.
He was on the Washington football team, too.
Yes.
You mean the Commanders?
He wasn't on the Commanders when they were called the Commanders.
He was on the Washington team when they were called the Washington team?
I was like,
He was born in Gilbert, Arizona.
Cringe. Absolutely disrespectful.
come on home, Ryan. Come on home.
Yeah, and he went to Harvard from 2001 to 2004 and then got drafted in the NFL in 2005. Round 7, pick 250.
I hope he goes into like broadcasting or something.
I hope he does, too.
Just do what fucking Tony Romo did at that point.
He wasn't on the Ravens. That was a dumb list, guys.
I was
Don't
going to say,
trust
what
it.
the fuck? When was he on the
He was on the Rams.
Pretty sure that was more than 9 too.
He was on the Rams, the Bengals, Bills,
Giants were
Titans,
listed, like, twice.
Texans, Jets. That's why I hesitated. Bucks, Dolphins, and Washington football
Wasn't
team.
the Dolphins. We just need Blake Bortles back on the
I
Jags.
don't know. This football.org seems pretty accurate.
He has 21 touchdowns
Let's go.
rushing.
Damn.
I was like 21. That's it. Jeez,
Rushing
no
touchdowns,
wonder.
though?
Completion percentage of 60.7, which is actually pretty good. 60.7? Career?
Too bad. Too
Yeah.
bad he couldn't do it on a good team.
Yeah.
At least not when he was there.
He's Fitzmagic. That's what he is.
He's just magically shit.
Let's get more into this. Fitzpatrick is married to Lisa Barber. They have 7 children together.
Jesus Christ.
They have 7 children. Dang, like Philip Rivers has like 17 kids.
9, I believe.
Well, at least he can shoot.
Oh,
maybe
no,
8.
no, he was number 17. He doesn't have 17.
At least in one aspect of his life, he
Can
can
you get
shoot
your
straight.
facts straight, please?
Sorry. I just. Oh my gosh. Come again? What'd you say, Gavan?
Nothing. We're gonna roll past that.
Wait, what?
Nothing.
Some
Roll
of
it
that
back, Jacob.
shooting straight.
Oh, exquisite. So at least in one aspect of his life, he could shoot straight then. Because he had 7 kids.
Speaking of shooting straight, Gavin, how good are you with a spear gun?
I'd say at least 12.
Well, good thing you're not going to have a
Okay.
spear gun. This week on Gavin vs. Wild, which we are going to create a soundbite so that we can play. And it's going to be Gavin making Tarzan
roar,
noises.
monkey noises. Yeah.
Hi.
Do it. Can we get a sample?
Nope.
Ah, come on.
Just pound your chest.
Nope.
Do it for us.
I will not.
Do it for the Vine.
Okay.
Whoa.
All right, this week. Let's talk about last week. Or the last two weeks ago, right? Because voting got extended because Gavin wasn't here because he was on a business trip killing a tiger.
It was a hippo, actually.
A hippo, right? My bad. I get them all mixed up.
With my bare hands. So I didn't even need the 44.
Good to know for when we pair you up with other stuff.
Fuck you, Joe.
God. Yeah, Joe. Just kidding, Joe. How you doing? All right, last 2 weeks ago, it was Gavin with a mace against a female alligator.
Yes.
The reason it was female is because it was a mama alligator, and Gavin stole the gator eggs.
He wanted an omelet.
He wanted an omelet. And Gavin won narrowly.
And I got to make that fucking omelet.
55% to 45%.
I got to throw some gator meat in that shit, too.
So Gavin is now
Nutritious.
6-1? 5-1?
Should be like 7-0, but
Bad.
whatever.
It's all right. It's all right. You'll get him next time.
Maybe.
This week, will Gavin continue his winning streak, or will he succumb to the wrath of the wilderness?
Wraith.
Wraith.
The wrath of the wilderness. This week, Gavin is taking on a great white shark.
Woo!
An aquatic animal, or the first fully aquatic animal
In the desert.
in the...
All I have to do is live for like 20 seconds. It suffocates and dies.
If it were in the desert, yeah. But
So Gavin is going to take on a female... No, it was a male. It's
Well,
gonna
no,
be
the
a male.
female was the larger ones.
But we were going to do...
Are we doing the male?
Which one do you think is best for this situation?
yeah, let's do the cock and balls one.
All right. So
Oh, God, that's right. I forgot that's what we were doing.
we're doing the male great white shark.
No.
And here's the location. They are in a public swimming pool. The swimming pool's empty, obviously, but there is
Except
a shallow
for the water.
Except for the water. There's a shallow end, deep end. As deep as 10 feet, as shallow as 3 feet. All right. So you're going to take on a great white shark in this water. Is he allowed to get out of the water?
No.
No, you're not allowed to get out of the water.
But I could go into the shallow end at least.
You can go in the shallow end.
Okay. Okay.
You can assume the shark won't follow you. Because it can't.
Well, I mean,
You can assume.
Until we assume what the whole shark is fighting me for.
So
We'll see the simulation.
here's Gavin's buff
Dilemma.
and dilemma. I guess.
Shit.
Gavin has a scimitar.
Which
That
is
is-
a curved sword.
Think about
Middle Eastern
like a
descent.
pirate sword.
I think of a rapier.
Well, I think more like cartoony pirates with a scimitar.
Well, then, yeah, you didn't say cartoon.
Remember the swords in Aladdin?
Yeah,
There you go.
There we go.
those curved swords, those little buggers. So here's what Gavin has to take on with this great white shark. This great white shark is a male shark who is quite
Frustrated.
He's
frustrated.
horny.
He is a horny
shark.
shark who thinks that Gavin is another female shark, and it's mating season. It's mating time for this shark.
It's Morbid time.
It's Morbid time.
So Gavin's objective is survive.
Survive. That's it. That's the objective. And so Gavin,
To do so, I have to kill the shark, though.
Naturally.
naturally, or you can have a nice life with it.
Nope.
Have some kids.
You can give in and just
Yeah. Just let
make
us
some
know.
shark babies.
That'll be if the shark wins. That's what happens. You don't die. This is what happens.
No. I killed myself. I killed myself. We're good.
If you win, the shark's dead, and then you get arrested for domestic abuse.
What?
You ruin a bloodline. Wow.
But yeah, that is this week on Gavin versus Wild. It'll be Gavin with a scimitar defending himself, not even fighting, defending himself from a horny great white male shark in a public swimming pool.
Let's go.
That is
Will there be spectators at this pool?
Do you want there to be spectators? Will that affect your performance?
No.
Fetish or something?
Say, like, am I going to be embarrassed publicly?
So we are
Yes,
going
but
to
not because of this.
read some specs on great white sharks so you have an idea.
Finding out what the meta is real quick.
Exactly.
So
great white sharks, they do not have smooth skin. They have rough skin that's like sandpaper. It cuts human skin quite easily. So that is a disadvantage that Gavin will be at. I just want you guys to know that.
gotta be
The
lubed
scimitar
up.
cuts pretty good too.
I looked up attacks. Guys, when's Shark Week? Isn't it July? Is it always in July?
I don't.
I love Shark Week. It's awesome.
Shark Week is like it's like the McRib. Like it comes and goes, and I don't even know when.
So adults of the great white sharks weigh between
But when it's here, I'm having a great time.
weigh between 1,500 and 1,700 pounds on average. Oh my! And then there's that. Doo-doo-doo.
Now,
Wait.
see, this is why I wish we had cameras.
What?
Nothing.
Cool.
Continue with the shark specs, Ethan.
So they're long. That's true.
Whoa.
They can be up to 6 feet tall, as in their height, not their length. Man, this is
Hence
a
the
lot of
shallow end.
information. Hence the shallow end. Yes. Here we are. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, it said sexual dimorphism,
What?
and I didn't know what that
does that
meant.
mean?
Oh,
It
they
just
can,
means
like, change.
no. It means females are generally larger than males,
Oh.
which is not very common in nature. And we should give you a female. All right, so great white sharks up
I'd be
to
more morally okay with it. If the female was the one horny, and because I'm just saying, like morally, it fits a little bit easier on me.
male great white sharks on average measure 11 to 13 feet long,
I'm just saying, like
and then they're 6 feet in height.
with the way my morals align, it fits my schedule better.
How are their bites? You know, great white sharks, they're big. They're big sharks. You've seen Jaws. Just picture that. Gavin's going against that. We will post a poll on our story for you to vote. If you miss the poll, go to the post that's posted and comment your vote. Or you can comment on YouTube. All the votes are compiled together to get the correct answer, the truth of who wins this ravishing. And the winner will be announced next week on Gavin versus Wild. With that, as we wrap things up here, Gavin, what's the song of the week?
For this week's song of the week, we have "A Man Without Love," which
That's the Great White Shark.
I was gonna say it might be my case here. It might not be the case here soon. By Engelbert Humperdinck. So Engelbert Humperdinck. So there you go. Ethan is very insensitive towards names here. We apologize for that one.
It was the way you said it, the way you looked at me.
Well, because that was a weird fucking name to just randomly pronounce. I'm sorry, Mr. Humperdinck, but you
You're
have
talking about the horny shark toward you, and you say Humperdinck.
Anyway, the song was made in 1968. "A Man Without Love." There you go. If you watched Moon Knight, you know this song.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, that's a name.
All right. All right. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to follow our social medias. It's at OEF White Noise on Instagram and then One Eyed Fits on YouTube. Feel free to leave your comments in the comment section on YouTube and then for a chance to have them be read on the show. And speaking of comments, we do have a couple here. And this is from Paul, who was a guest host last week.
Hey, Paul.
And he said, "Update, my air was fixed,
Let's go.
but I had 99 stops. Also, another update, I bet on black twice and lost twice. The next night, almost got into the mafia. Can't wait to tell you all the story. Also, for my last update, the daycare that takes care of Achilles, which is his German Shepherd, while we were gone, called and told us that he escaped from his kennel and was running around the halls, riling up all the other dogs. His nickname over there is now Houdini, and we gave him lots of treats for that."
You gave him treats for breaking out of his cage?
He was able to unlock it and then just roam around the hallways. It's a very Achilles thing to do.
Yeah.
Starting an uprising. What fucking Planet of the Apes?
Good thing Paul's not hourly.
Good thing it isn't hourly.
Those fucking daycare workers must not have been hourly either.
Jeez.
So be sure to leave a comment, and then we'll probably read it. So leave a comment, please. There's not enough of you guys leaving comments. I see that you're listening. Go ahead and leave a comment. If you're listening on Spotify, if you're listening on Apple, go to YouTube, leave a comment. Or else Gavan will come to your house and make you watch Morbius.
Morbid time.
It's Morbid time. All right, we appreciate you for joining us. Always a pleasure. Anything you guys want to say?
I'm excited for Kenobi.
I'm excited to fight this female shark.
It's a male shark.
No, we're changing it to female.
Nah, it's a male shark.
Nope.
Male and female? Gavin in the middle. They're both
I'll do that. If we're going to have to compromise, I'll do male and female.
Just the male.
Oh.
It's just the male. All clarification, it's just the male shark.
In that case, I'm not looking forward to it.
Gavin actually won't be here next week because he will be simulating that.
I'll be
So we'll see what
raising
happens.
shark kids.
So you accept defeat.
I don't accept defeat. I will literally,
something else.
I literally will kill myself before that happens.
Okay. All right. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. And with that being said, we have to go lather Gavin up in baby lotion to get him ready for this fight.
Yeah.